Okay, we have a trig right triangle here. We only have one side, need to know the other side. Set up for trig, so mark my angle. This is hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. The side across from 19 is opposite, which means the side that touches the 19 degrees, that's right next to the 19 degrees, is adjacent. So my trig function that's going to work for that is cosine. So I have cosine of 19 degrees should be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, 1.6 over x. So cosine of 19 degrees is 1.6 over x. Remember, we start solving by multiplying by the denominator, and this time x. So that's x times cosine of 19 degrees is 1.6. And then to finish solving, we divide off that cosine of 19 from both sides. So I have 1.6 divided by cosine of 19. Of course, you could always go and put that in Desmos, but the DeltaMath calculator does just as well. I really think they use a very similar logic. I have 1.6 divided by cosine of 19 degrees. And in this case, it gives you your answer of 1.69. And since 1.6 was one of the answers, a 1.69, which would round to 1.7, seems very reasonable for another answer. We'll try one more of these. Here we mark our angle. This is the hypotenuse. Opposite of the 31 is the 8.4. X is adjacent, so I need the trig function that relates opposite and adjacent. In this case, that's going to be tangent of 31 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent, so 8.4 over x. Multiply by the denominator, so x tan 31 equals 8.4. Then I have to divide both sides by tan 31. So I get 8.4 over tan 31. And then you can just type that in to get your decimal approximation. Let's see, I'm just going to edit what I already have. 8.4. That needs to be tan of 31. And then that's a 3.97. A note on rounding here. If I'm rounding that 7 will make the 9 go up. So instead of 13.9, it'll be 14.0 to the nearest tenth. So be careful on your rounding. And this next section has the ones where I don't know the angle. Still mark the angle, still label this. Across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. Across from the marked angle is opposite. Adjacent is the one next to the marked angle. I need the trig function that is opposite and hypotenuse, so that's sine. So I have sine of x equals opposite over hypotenuse, so 7.6 over 90. And then to get rid of that sine, I do an inverse sine or an arc sine. So x will end up being arc sine of 76 over 90. You could reduce that if you wanted to, but the calculator will handle it for us, so I'm not going to worry with that. If you want to type this in, you can probably use the -1, but I'm going to show you where the function is. Let me back this up, get rid of what I had. And to get an arc sine, go to functions. And there it is right there, arc sine. Very handy. 76 divided by 90. DeltaMath doesn't have quite as many functions as Desmos, but they're very convenient. And that gives me an answer of 57.6 to the nearest tenth of a degree. So that would be your answer. And it does seem reasonable because it is somewhere between 0 and 90, and 76 is a pretty big side. So it might be the biggest one.